Okay, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. This is the Stalker 2 review. Now, I'm doing it this way because, well, this is my first review ever doing, so it's kind of going to be live, but also you'll be seeing the edits in case I mess up. But let's hop into it. So, the Stalker 2 game was a pretty good game. It was actually pretty great when it comes to open world, when it comes to explore, when it comes to story dynamics. So I'm gonna hop into it because I don't want this to be a long review. I'm gonna go over the pros first, and then I'm gonna go over the cons, and then I guess I'll give my my review at the very end of the video. So I played about 81 hours of it, and to be honest with you, I think it said 110 hours was for straight completionists. 81 hours, there were still some side missions that I left on the table, with me still being new to the game, so I can't really say too much for that. But 81 hours I felt like was enough food to be full, to the point to where you kind of felt a little bit sick, but you still felt pleasantly satisfied. I felt like I could have put more hours into it, but then I felt like I would have been milking a cow that had any more milk or kicking a dead dog. So I felt like it served its purpose. For the 81 hours felt like that was a comfortable spot to where I didn't really start getting, because I can tell you right now, some of the bugs, some of the enemies, it was having me to that point to where I was like, oh, I'm done with this game. So I felt like 81 hours was a comfortable time to where not only did you start getting a better understanding of the zone, but you also got a better understanding of what your actual true mission was. And you played a skiff. He is a guy that woke up to his apartment being on fire and a unknown artifact being into his kitchen. Almost seemed like he might have been the chosen one of this story. Because it is the second story. I've never played the first one before, and I'll get into that later. But I'll start hopping on the things that I enjoyed about the game. The anomalies and the environments, they were amazing. Just this is my first type of game playing to where it almost seemed like the environment was your enemy. But if you treated it right, you got treated right once you got to know each other better. The environment was great. Can't really say too much about that because, well, the emissions, that was a new thing for me. That was great. The artifacts was a new thing for me, and it was a great addition. I don't feel like the artifacts stole the show. I really feel like the weapons and the mutants, I felt like those were like the main jewels of this game. Everything else was like a side compared to the weapon and the mutants. I felt like that was the main dish. But the artifacts were dope. The water, the weird water. What else did I have? I can't really think because I didn't really memorize any of them. Weird water probably was the one that stood out the best because it opened up my what I can carry limit, because this game left you at a certain threshold depending on what armor and what things you had early game to mid game to even late game if you didn't pick up the weird water. So the artifacts were great. Another thing that I liked about this game was the enemies. I felt like they had a variety of enemies until you start getting towards the very end with the monoliths and the ward and what have you. I felt like they could have did a better job making a distinctive feature between the two factions or any other faction really. So I felt like they kind of dropped the ball on that one, but every faction was pretty good. The map size was amazing, large, expansive, twists and turns everywhere. So I felt like the map size was very good. Gunplay was amazing, chef's kiss. Everything felt great as what it was. I don't really think there was too many weapons I did not like. I felt like every weapon was made for a certain person. And once you found that weapon, you knew that I can take this with me. The modifications, the upgrades, the weapon wear and tear, everything was great. The AI intelligence, to a certain point, I appreciated it, but to another point, I felt like it was just my Achilles heel. I felt like if they did it a little bit better, which this game, they're constantly going to be tweaking it. I felt like if they did it just a little bit better, it can be amazing. I almost felt like I was playing Gears of War Horde mode, that once one person came in, he caught 15 of his brothers and they all just jumped me savagely. I don't feel like it ever was a fair fight for Skiff when he was going out in the open field, because the accuracy, the length, the distance that these monolith people could damage you at versus what you could, I felt like it was kind of set to an unfair advantage. Mind you, I had mine on, I believe it'd be medium, so I think it was Stalker difficulty. So I couldn't imagine it even on hardcore. That's just ridiculous. Dialogue was great to a certain point. Only thing I didn't like was the timer. Sometimes you need to digest what information you were given and the importance of the choices that really dictated Skiff's journey. I felt like they gave those timers shouldn't have been there, for you to really sit and think, how would you act if you were Skiff? What I will say is, also the armor was great. Oh, it was fantastic. I think that when it comes to this game, they didn't really go too heavy when it came to the character. They really made you feel like a normal man. And if your gear and your weapons were no good, you were really about to get ran through the dryer. So I really appreciate that. Early game wise, I had one weapon, which would be the, let me see real quick, it would be the Shiva Cher's mate, which is this bad boy right here. And I also had, with that, I had this armor right here, which would be the Shiva. Not the, yeah, that's what I was, the Siva, or however you pronounce it. Those two items pretty much kept me through until I got to that next level. Now, on top of that, I want to say my number one favorite weapon that actually surprised me, because I didn't think it was going to be that good all the way through until the end of the game, was the clusterfuck. This weapon right here, extremely amazing, fully kitted, drum mag, you name it, whatever you can throw on it, it took that weapon to the next level. I kept that weapon all the way through. It was just phenomenal. One weapon that I got that I thought was going to be great, and it really was just okay, was the whip. The whip was fine for what it was, marksman / sniper rifle, but I felt like the standard scope on it, there was a lot on the screen to really deter where you're actually aiming from, adjusting from the drop off, adjusting from the distance. When the enemy hits you, it gives you a lot of kick. So that means that you kind of have to wait in scope mode until you can actually take your shot. To me personally, I actually got rid of the whip and went back to the clusterfuck, just because I felt more comfortable, because I used it a lot. So that actually became my baby. When it came to the mutants, this bad boy right here, this I guess it's the Saiga D12. This shotgun was phenomenal. There's better shotguns, but this one was the one with the magazine on it. And for you, in the moments where you're being attacked by and swarmed by mutants or monoliths, you can't run through and just single charge a shotgun. You're not going to make it. This weapon took me to the next level. Especially, I was running from mutants, especially them damn bloodsuckers, to really now I'm the hunter, and now they're the prey. That's what the Sega did for me. Another weapon assault rifle that I got towards the middle was the Karad. This weapon was great. fully kitted up. At a certain point, you feel like the enemies go to the next level, and yeah, they're more. I don't want to say bullet sponge, because I don't feel like that's the accurate term. I feel like their gear matched your gear, and it just took more to actually penetrate depending on what you had on your weapon. The karate took me to that next one. This is the only weapon that I'm sad that I got because it made me wish for a new game plus. Don't know how to pronounce the name of it, the Stonyk, but it's spelled SOTNYK. This weapon right here, when I tell you, when I got this bad boy, I started lasering people. You can also add an extended clip to it, take it from, I want to say, a 35 to a 45. Scope was amazing, laser sight was amazing, silencer was amazing. Like, I feel like if they gave you this weapon in the beginning, you wouldn't have done absolutely anything else for anything else in this game. But yeah, this weapon right here made me really want a new game plus. That's how amazing, that's how it just made you feel like that, man. Paired with that, I also got the exosuit. Exosuits were, they're pretty good. In my opinion, are they a little bit overrated? Yeah, kind of, sort of. They're just a bigger backpack, because to me, the Siva D, to me personally, that's if I could have had 40 more carrying spots, I would have never switched to the exosuit. To me, this was the go-to gear for me until I got my exosuit. But yeah, when it comes to the weapons, they were just amazing. So if I had to give it into an order, clusterfuck would be my number one weapon, because it was just my baby for taking them out at a distance. Right after that would have been the Stonyk, if I'm pronouncing that right. Then Sharon's mate, then the Saiga, and then the whip. And whip was what it was. Technically that'd be my bonus weapon, because I actually would put the karate way over that one. Yeah, from, you know, the mutants, my next point on to that one, mutants were great. I felt like where they could have been generic at, they really took their sweet time, because unlike how most weapons didn't feel like the next, I always felt, even 81 hours in, I always felt like I was running into a new mutant. Like the punk ass rats, those you just never get away from the dogs. I'm not going to spoil it, because if you didn't watch the gameplay, or you didn't play the game, I don't want to ruin certain things for you. But I would say that the bloodsuckers, the controllers, the fleshies, they were all great mutants. They're definitely, this game would give you confidence, and then it would snatch her right away. If you watch my gameplay, you know I go up and down like on like a roller coaster, because it makes you feel like you're the man, to letting you know, nope, you're just a normal guy in the zone. Yeah, so going to my next point, weapon and gear. What I liked about that was, once again, you don't have any powers. So you're really dependent on your weapon and gear, whether you're taking damage, whether you're dealing damage. But after a while, you start to lose that quality in the gear. And once it starts dropping down to that 50%, down to that 30-40%, you start to notice whether you're taking more damage, or when you're panicked and you're running for your life and you're shooting, you'll have a weapon malfunction that typically only starts to happen once you start getting into that 50% and lower, which is you know, quite terrifying, especially depending on what's chasing you, or how many people are chasing you. So that was a good addition to the game. I'm assuming it was in the first game, but it definitely, to me, was it was like a double-edged sword. It was a good thing, but it also sometimes it actually hurt me. So, but that's really nothing I'm too worried about on that one. My next point, no abilities. Skiff is a normal man. a normal guy with no special powers doing what he believed or what he felt. And I really appreciate that. I talk to my friends all the time. I feel like we're in a generation now where it's lazy to be new. It's easy to recycle what somebody else's did, and I'm not a person that does anything with magic related. I know I said it in one of my videos, but it's like that's the norm now for lazy developers. When they want to give you something, oh, let's just cast a spell, you need that bush taken out, set it on fire with a spell. And it's so annoying, because I know I'm not the only person that doesn't play games like that, but it's so annoying because to me I feel like it's a lazy mechanic. But it's easy because everybody does it. But this game, you had no abilities and you felt it. You felt being a normal person. Almost like one of my other favorite games, The Division 2. It puts you into that mindset where there were times where I forgot I was playing as Skiff, and it was just me and myself, like running from people, shooting at monoliths, being chased by bloodsuckers, and panicking because I don't have any type of double jump. I don't have super speed, super strength. It's just me, as if I'm on a I'm on a battlefield and I'm shooting, or I'm overseas. Like it puts you in that mindset, and I was definitely very appreciative of it because it gave it its characters. Now on to the dislikes of the game. These are my dislikes, but these aren't game playing stopping dislikes. Bugs was atrocious in this game, and I'm not talking about cockroaches. I'm talking about bugs as if the camera starts shaking, or the audio goes out, or it's telling you something on the screen during a cutscene and the whole screen is white, but you can hear them talking. Bugs were so prevalent. They were bad, I'm not gonna lie, but they weren't anything like game breaking bugs. Now sometimes, like there was one time where a bug actually helped me out because I was getting my ass kicked. And he helped me out. That bug stopped him in his place, and I took full advantage of it because typically they're taking advantage of the bugs. So bugs were bad. Just as it was mainly audio cues, or just stutters, or just things that shouldn't happen. It's in my walkthrough. I should have wrote some of them down, but the main one for me, because video games are kind of like movies. Well, that's the main premise of them. And there was multiple times throughout the series where keyframes would be playing, and you couldn't see anything, or you're teleporting and all the audio goes out, and then you come through, or dead people popping up and then popping down, but those bodies are there and you don't know whether it's alive, dead, or what is it. So the bugs were there. AI was atrocious. I don't know what type of update they did, I want to say a month ago, but they turned these AI people from Krillin all the way up to Super Saiyan God Gogeta. Like, it was just ridiculous. They were using regular pump shotguns and they were turning them bad boys into snipers, cracking me fields from over and over. I mean, shooting through walls, shooting through, it's whatever the AI wanted to do in this game, the AI did in this game. So if those things are adjusted, playing on hard might be difficult for some people when it comes to the AI's overwhelming power, but that's not something the developers couldn't tweak in order to fix and correct. So once again, it's not game breaking or it's not game stopping, it's just annoyances, because I'm being new to this, I found my way around it. Anybody else could. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there was many times where I thought about dropping the difficulty, but I kept, I had perseverance, and I just, pushed on through. Money, for what you have to do when it comes to gear and weapons, I wish that the missions were more forthcoming when it came to giving you money. The side quests, that's why towards the middle to end, I stopped doing them, because the side quests only given 2,000. My armor towards the middle to end was starting to cost me 20,000 coupons just to fix whether or not how much damage I had. I think the highest amount of coupons I got for one mission might have been 35k. And I felt like the money wasn't the main attraction by no means, but it you definitely needed more of it. So I really wish they would have did a better job at rewarding us as the players with coupons. Traveling, very tedious. Like I said, one of the great things about this game was how large the map was or is. I just wish that they did a better job at allowing you to traverse it. Once again, you don't have any abilities, so you have to walk, you have to run, but you also have to carry your own gear. And that starts to weigh you down. If you're like me and you're looter shooter or an explorer, you know, going on the right path is never the right choice. It's always the good stuff is off on the wrong way. So you find that through the journey, looking in the wrong spot normally leads you to the right way. But this game kind of smacks you on your hand for doing that, because once you start getting heavy, now you're moving slow, and whether you have the monolith, mutants chasing after you, you can only pop so many C4 drinks before you get fed up. So I felt like the traveling, they could have did a better job. Now, when it goes camp to camp to camp, they did implement guides like a fast travel, which I appreciate that. But when you're out in the middle and you're 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers, 1 kilometer away, that distance is like a 5-minute to 10-minute walk in real time, and nobody got time for that. So I kind of hope that they fix that. One of my suggestions is, if it's not fixing it, to make it easier, or to make it better, not to make it better, but to change it, I suggest that they put in multiple tote boxes, and at every base you share one tote box where you can put your items in, and it transfers from base to base to base. Because we're a it's in the title, you're a stalker, so we're all stalkers, which that sounds weird to say out loud, but because we're stalkers, I kind of wish that they actually implemented like a stalker system where there was many chests or many totes around the map. That way, if you were toting something or carrying something, it didn't really hinder you, because you can actually go to a stash, a safe spot that you knew, and stash your stuff there, and then you can travel faster to the base, and then everything was inside your stash box. That's something kind of what I hope they go towards, because I know that, or allow it to be a little bit more expensive, but for there to be wandering guides on the whole in the zone, to where you can, somebody just normally walking, and you can pay them to send you to guide you to a base. Those type of things, I feel like it'd make it a little bit better, because you don't want vehicles in here. I think that takes away from the lore, takes away from the fear, takes away from the explorer in this game. So I kind of felt like if they work on that and they fine tune it, it'll be way better. I don't know if that's how it was on Stalker 1. I'm a Stalker 2 guy, so I kind of hope that's kind of what they make better, if I should say. Stealth, pure garbage. The AI can see through walls, so I kind of felt like that was a missed opportunity. So that's definitely something they need to tweak, because there were a couple missions where they wanted you to be stealthy, but they have eyes behind their head and they can see absolutely anything. I felt like, I'm not for sure if anybody in here, or I know some people have, but they reminded me of the Akatsuki group in Naruto. Naruto Shippuden, where they're pain, where they all have the Rinnegan eyes, because once one enemy is alerted, everybody knows exactly where you're at, and they're shooting through walls, they're shooting through hills, and they're all charging forward. So I kind of feel like if they fix that, it'd be great. So, but that's not anything that's going to that can't be fixed. And then I'd probably say my last gripe, my last gripe is it isn't anything big or small. At times though, it seemed like Stalker 2, it wasn't made for new players. I felt like the whole game there was something I was missing, or I felt like I was left out, and you really don't find that out when you get to sorry, you don't find that out until you get to the end of the game, that Stalker 1 lore, Stalker 1 action, Stalker 1 how it ended took very strong precedence in Stalker 2. So I felt like I kind of wish either A, the NPC said more to you, or B, there was something that let you knew what happened, or maybe even like a preview or a catching up video at the very beginning. Hey, this is Stalker. This is what happened in the first game in Chernobyl. Now this is Stalker 2, and then it gave us like it's a baton passing. Because I felt like I said, until I got to the very end of the game, even if you watched my last one, I was kind of left dumbfounded because I didn't know what the hell just happened. I had to go do side research to figure out what even all that meant. So I hope that they do. I hope they do better on Stalker 3, or not even Stalker 3. I guess there's 2 expansions. I don't know what Skiff's future is, and I don't know if Stalker 2's formula is always giving you a new Stalker, which I'm not inclined to. I think that's pretty dope. That way you're never too attached, and then you're getting mad at the developers for not trying to do something better. So if you're constantly giving us new Stalkers, kind of like how Dying Light 2 did with the first one and then the second one, I'm fine with that. So I'm going to hold my judgment on that one. But the way this game was, I'm definitely going to keep my my stocks in Stalker. This is a game that I'm going to play. It was just great. But to end on it though, I would say my ending thoughts on Stalker 2 being my welcome into the series, that it was great. It was a great experience. It was full of ups and downs, with shock, wonder, and awe. This game just kept my head on a swivel. When I thought it was down, or I thought it was going low or slowing down, it's ramped up on me. I think by no means is this a perfect game, but I think it has the formula to be a perfect game. Even to not even be perfect, I feel like the blueprint that it has is perfect. I think it just has what it needs to be a great game. All it needs to do is just fix some small tweaks, and I think this game, I think for the storytelling, if they keep getting better and better, I really think they'll be on the same level of Mass Effect and Fallout. You can say whatever you want about those games, but when it comes to storytelling, in my personal opinion, my game experience, I've been playing games for over 30, 32, 34 years. 32 years. Mass Effect and Fallout, the way they tell stories, it's just top tier. And I feel like Stalker 2 can be on that same mountain, or that Mount Rushmore of games. It's just tweaking what they have. But if you haven't tried the game out, most definitely, it's an amazing journey. At the very least, it's worth one playthrough at the most. Whether you pay for it on PC or you pay for it on whatever. I got mine through Xbox Game Pass. I pay monthly, and to be honest, I feel like I got my money's worth just playing Stalker 2. So yeah, I felt like it was a great game. This is my review, and this right here is my score for it. I gave it this just based off the bugs, but the graphics were solid, sound amazing at times, gameplay amazing, and the duration of it. This game's length is really, it's all determined based on you. So yeah, this is I gave it a 7.5. I think I might come back for the expansions, and if they change my depiction or my opinion on the game, that score could either go up or go down. But for me personally, me coming into Stalker 2, The Heart of Chernobyl, I think 7.5 personally to me is a great score, because it shows that there's room for growth, room for further just further greatness on this game. Like I said, they have a great blueprint. I hope they stick to it. I hope they don't change and try to follow somebody else's recipe, because what they have is great. So yeah, thank you for following me. Thank you for watching me scream, watching me yell, watching me get angry. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys looking forward to the next game. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and stay true to yourself until the next time. Peace.